Geotechnical can be categorized into soil mechanics and foundation engineering. For the subject geotechnical engineering, weightage given in GATE examination is 15 marks, which overall tops the other subjects by weightage. The detailed syllabus for soil mechanics and foundation engineering are these. GATE 1 mark question and answer under the topic permeability will be covered in this video. Which of the following statement is true for the relation between discharge velocity and seepage velocity? They have given four options. Let's check how to solve this problem. There is a relationship which relates Vs and V. So Vs is nothing but seepage velocity, and while V is discharge velocity, this is a common relationship between them. So in this, if you see porosity, N is porosity which is of lesser than 1 value. I can say N into Vs is in product, so very well we know Vs is going to be greater than V. So seepage velocity is greater than discharge velocity. Let's check the options. From the given options, we can say B is the correct answer which suits our relationship. Seepage velocity can never be smaller than discharge velocity. In this question, velocity of flow is proportional to the first power of hydraulic gradient in Darcy's law. This law is applicable to. So, where Darcy's law is valid, let's check. So, coming to the validity of Darcy's law, for laminar flow conditions. So, laminar flow, it is applicable. So, generally, where laminar flow we can find it is in clay, silt, and fine sands. And laminar flow means Reynolds number should be less than 1. So from the options, they are talking about the flow. So it is option A, laminar flow in porous media. According to Darcy's law, for flow through porous media, the velocity is proportional to. From this equation, we can understand V is proportional to I. So I, from the equation, it is given that hydraulic gradient. For the given question, the option is hydraulic gradient. The piezometric head at point C in the experimental setup shown in figure when the flow takes place under a constant head through the soil A and B. So it is a constant head test. So this head is going to remain the same till we finish the whole test. During the test, if I am fixing a piezometer at this point C, what is the probability of rise of water level in this piezometer? So that is what they are asking. What is my piezometer head? So let's check what does piezometer do and what are all the heads you need to take in account for total head calculation. Datum line is my reference point. If I am just fixing my piezometer head, the water in it, the water level in my piezometer will be up to this point. So up to this point my water will show up. Okay, so what does it includes? In this case, it includes pressure head and elevation head and pressure head. So elevation head is something where the water rises from the datum line and touches the pressure head bottom. Okay, so the elevation head is something where water rises against the gravity. Okay, and some pressure if the water has, and due to that pressure the water can rise for another height. So that height is known as pressure height, H. Total head is sum of pressure head, elevation head and velocity head. But in soil mechanics, velocity head is neglected. So just sum of pressure head and elevation head gives our piezometric head. We can say that from the point C, our water can rise till this point. Okay, so till this point it will rise for sure. That head is elevation head, and due to some pressure it will additionally rise to another height, that is pressure head. So summing up all the heights will give our piezometer head. So 40 plus 40 plus 40, so 120 centimeter, D is the answer. A soil mass has coefficients of horizontal and vertical permeability as 9 into 10 to the power minus 7 centimeter per second and 4 into 10 to the power minus 7 centimeter per second respectively. The transformed coefficient of permeability of an equivalent isotropic soil masses. So here let's just understand the question first. Here they are talking about isotropic material or isotropic profile of soil. So what it means, if you just take a sample of any material, we can just analyze the property along the x-axis, y-axis and z-axis. The properties may or may not vary in accordance to the direction, but when coming to isotropic, while we talk about isotropic, that means the property is the same in all the directions, in all the three directions. For here we have taken a three-dimensional thing. So isotropic means the property whatever is here existing along the x-axis is same as the along y-axis and z-axis. So along all the directions, the properties, physical properties, if it is same, then it is of isotropic. So in the question, they have given two different permeabilities. One is horizontal and vertical. So two different directions and two different permeability they are talking about. Then they are asking us to find a transformed coefficient of permeability. So we need to make a conversion for a isotropic soil specimen. So this two different permeabilities along two different directions has to become or reduced to one value called one permeability, because according to isotropic, in all directions all same property exists. So two different permeabilities cannot exist in isotropic soil. So in isotropic soil it has to be one permeability. So to convert permeability to this particular isotropic soil, we have a formula. The formula to find a single permeability, we call it as equivalent permeability. So they have given horizontal permeability and vertical permeability. If we just substitute in this formula, we will arrive our equivalent permeability. So just substituting the given kx and ky. So we will get our answer k equivalent to be 6 into 10 power minus 7 centimeter per second. So from this we can understand the option D is right answer for us. The hydraulic head at a point in soil includes. Hydraulic head is also called as piezometric head. Piezometric head, we say it as pressure head plus elevation head. Velocity head is neglected in soil mechanics. Coefficient of permeability of a soil is 5 into 10 to the power minus 5 centimeter per second for a certain fluid. If the viscosity of the poured fluid is reduced to half the coefficient of permeability. So when you reduce the viscosity to half, then what is that coefficient permeability? In the question they have given coefficient of permeability, we can represent that as in alphabet K, and viscosity can be represented in mu. So they have given two different, they are mentioning about two different data. First, they have given particular coefficient of permeability and their respective viscosity we are assuming to be as mu1. So first given data K1 5 into 10 to the power minus 5 centimeter per second is K1. That's taken, right? So K1 is 5 into 10 to the power minus 5 centimeter per second. And permeability is generally proportional to the mu. That is, permeability is proportional to viscosity of the fluid. So this is one relationship that you needed to solve this particular problem. In the question they are asking, this is the case given K1 given for a respective viscosity. That particular viscosity is now reduced to half. If you reduce the viscosity value, what happens to my permeability? So what is the value of new permeability, that is K2? So from the relationship between K and mu, we can write the given to be like this. In this, mu2 is a new mu2. So viscosity they changed into half the mu. They reduced that mu to half. Now in this equation, I know K1 and then mu1 will get cancelled. So just substituting K1, I can get my K2. Answer is 10 into 10 to the power minus 5 centimeter per second. So option B is right.